When you play the game Devil May Cry 5 and you enter the arena where you fight Urizen for the final time, you are greeted with this idyllic green landscape with a beautiful mansion in the background. At first, this place doesn't make any sense since you are supposed to be inside the dark and the gory Qlipoth tree. However, the game makes sure to explain the situation to the player by having Dante and Urizen comment on it. Dante immediately recognizes this place and says,
"Yep. This is where it all started. That day Mother saved me and left you behind. The thing you don't know is, she tried to save you too. She kept searching and searching until I killed her."
By this sentence, the player could remember the previous cutscene showing a flashback of Dante's childhood memories when the demons attacked their family home and Eva tried to save both of them, but was unable to find Vergil, who was outside. So this house is none other than the Sparta family's childhood family home. However, Urizen having a different opinion about this place, and he says,
"I have no recollection of this tale, or this place. It's all an illusion, created by this extraordinary fruit."
So Urizen claims that we are inside an illusion, which was created by the Qlipoth's powerful fruit. But have you ever asked the question, why? Why would the fruit create an illusion of Dante and Vergil's childhood family home? And what does it truly mean? The answer may be deeper than you thought. In the cutscene before the boss fight, there is a dramatic music track plays which is titled Layered Landscape. And as the fight starts, you are seemingly inside an illusion of the beautiful landscape with the childhood family home in the background. However, as the fight goes on, and as you damage Urizen and take down his health bar to a halfway point, the environment and the sky around you starts to change drastically. The happy colors desaturate and the blue sky turns dark. And on the landscape, a crack starts to appear, and glass shards fall down all around you. Where the crack is, it reveals the bloody insides of the Qlipoth, where we truly are. But why? Why would the glass start to break when you damage Urizen? I believe the truth is, this is not just an illusion, and these glass shards are what makes up the entire skybox. But I think this is not just simple glass, this is a mirror. But if it's a mirror, then what does it reflect? Well, it reflects Urizen. It reflects what Urizen truly is. Furthermore, it is Urizen. Since as you damage Urizen, you damage the mirror as well. And finally, when Urizen is brought down to his knees and merges back together with V, that is when the mirror actually shatters and disappears completely. As Urizen is no more, the mirror is no more. So I believe what truly happens during this boss fight is that you are not simply inside an illusion, you are inside a reflection of what Urizen truly represents. And if you destroy Urizen, you destroy the mirror around you as well. Now you may have so many more questions. Why is it a mirror? And if it's a mirror, then why is it showing the outside of the childhood family home? Let's start looking for answers by examining the theme of mirrors in previous Devil May Cry games. In the first Devil May Cry, Dante finds a mirror inside the castle and he feels an evil energy coming through it. And after he obtains the melancholy soul next to the mirror, suddenly his reflection in the mirror smiles back and comes out into the real world, turning into his twin brother, who is now acting as the mind-controlled Nilo Angelo. Later, the same mirror also serves as a portal. As you enter through it, you enter a pocket dimension of the demon world. And similarly, at the end of Devil May Cry 3, when you enter the demon world, you are immediately faced with mirrors that are serving as portals between spaces, so you need to jump inside them in order to proceed. But mirrors doesn't need to be made of glass to reflect things. Even Dante's eyes acts like mirrors when he reflects Vergil in the prologue cutscene in DMC3, and his face is actually upside down when the reflection is shown, the final thing he sees before he gets stabbed. And in DMC5, his eyes continues to reflect Vergil, while his face being upside down yet again. But this time, he reflects the demon and the human side of Vergil. He sees Urizen in the beginning, then later he also sees V being reflected in his upside-down eyes. However, we can come to the realization that reflection is not just something in Devil May Cry. Reflection is everything in Devil May Cry. As a quote from the first game, "Evil is a reflection of man, thus evil lurks inside the mirror."
What evil lurks, I must destroy.
One of the most terrifying enemies, a creature called Nightmare, manifests into the human world via the reflection of a puddle of water, as even a simple puddle of water can have a reflection and let the human and the demon world get connected, as if the demon world is the actual reflection of the human world, and when Nightmare manifests and Dante fights it, he can get grabbed by one of its attacks and get transported into a strange dimension with upside-down architecture, and yet again, there is a theme of things being upside down. In order to get out of this place, Dante needs to defeat the demons found there, and there is a quite chilling library description about this that you can read in the game. Quote, "Nightmare, when you are surrounded in its gel-like form, you will be teleported into an evil dimension. You must destroy the evil spirits that rule the dimension."
What evil lurks, I must destroy.
The evil is a reflection of Dante's trauma that rests in his subconscious. So, in my interpretation, Nightmare can transport Dante inside his own unconscious world, where he is facing demons born from his trauma. Remember yet again, the evil, or more like the demons in this place, are a reflection of Dante's trauma. The theme of water and reflection can be further linked to the description of Sargasso, an enemy that can be met under the seawater. In the library description, they refer to the underworld as like an endless sea. In the world of Devil May Cry, there is no heaven. There is only the duality of darkness and light, the demon world and the human world, as if they are the reflection of each other and cannot exist without each other. And the upside-down visual theme can be further observed in DMC3 when you enter the Room of the Fallen, a place inside the demon world, and under your feet there is yet again water. At first it could be seen as blood since it's red, however it's clearly transparent and it makes water-like splashing sounds. And above you on the dark blue sky, there is upside-down architecture can be seen, or as if the sky reflecting what is below. You feel like you are literally inside a reflection. These themes strongly emphasize that mirrors and reflection are not only a portal or barrier between the human and the demon world, but implies that they are part of one world, being simply the two sides of the same coin. And the deeper meaning of the mirror theme is that it reflects yourself as you look into it. Mirrors reflects and reveals some sort of a truth within that you're unable to see from a first-person perspective unless you use the help of a reflection to help you take a look at yourself. And as for further clues for the upside-down theme, we also have the upside-down human-like figures inside the Temen Negru. I always wondered why are they upside down when I walked by them, and now I have some interpretations. And I almost forgot to mention the upside-down architecture at the end level of DMC3, where you walk on the arched ceiling of a building that was supposed to be held by pillars. This is the same ceiling you fight with Vergil for the last time, as you can see the same view of the black hole-like portal in the background, staring at you like an eye. Reflection in Devil May Cry could also explain the appearance of demons. In the art book of DMC3, the transformed Arkham, for example, is being described as Arkham transforms after acquiring Sparda's power. Unable to remain in human form, he transforms into a demonic mass, reflecting the evil in his heart. Mirrors are even a theme in the music. For example, in the lyrics of the soundtrack in DMC3 titled Taste the Blood, there is a line that goes, and in DMC5, when you finish a mission, there is a glass-shattering visual theme that always have been present in every previous DMC games, making you feel like your screen is shattering. Back in the days, TV screens and monitors were made out of glass, so it makes sense. But now the glass shatter could also represent a mirror, as you're reflecting on your performance on this screen. On top of that, the music track that plays during this screen is titled Reflection. But glass shards seems to be present during many attacks in the gameplay. For example, one of Nero's strongest attacks, Maximum Bat, creates shattering glass everywhere. Or take a look at V's Royal Fork with similar effects, or the way you can hear a sound very similar to shattering glass as you finish off at the enemies, as if V is reaching into the demon dimension, or in other words, the mirror dimension, in order to defeat the demons. Explaining Nero as well, summoning a deep, demonic energy to unleash his Maximum Bat move that shatters even the glass or maybe the mirror that is the barrier between the human world and the demon world. So in conclusion, to me it seems like that reflection is a pretty important thing in Devil May Cry with a deep meaning. With that in mind, let's take a look back at the family home that is being reflected in the mirror when Urizen is being put in front of it. I believe this mirror is reflecting what Urizen truly is and what he truly represents. Because this view, outside, in front of the house, is exactly where Vergil got backstabbed as a child and attacked by a horde of demons, seeking to take out their revenge against Sparda on his innocent family. This moment was depicted in the Visions of V manga, but the game makes sure you don't have to read the manga to understand everything, by Dante telling what happened in this cutscene.
This is where it all started. That day Mother saved me and left you behind.
Furthermore, V also has a flashback of playing outside when the demons attacked.
I just remembered something. This town was attacked. Once before, I was here. I can still see it. In fact, I was playing right here. That was the house.
Once we understand what happened in front of the house, this mirror image of it puts Urizen into a different perspective. In my view, it reflects what Urizen truly represents. Because Urizen does not represent Vergil. What Urizen truly represents is the terror and trauma that Vergil experienced and the desire for power in order to be able to fight back that was born in that moment in front of the house. He is nothing more but an empty shell of a body without a soul, and the real soul of Vergil is V, and in order to unite them again, Dante needs to fight and defeat the demon side, bringing him down to his knees, while Nero needs to be a gentle angel in order to help and carry the human side to the same place. The story of this reflection also helps us better understand Dante and Vergil and the reason why they're fighting. Remember that curious line back from that cutscene when V meets Dante and tells him that Urizen is his reason for fighting?
This demon is your reason. Your reason for fighting.
Well, this line has actually two meanings. First of all, we have the William Blake interpretation, and this line, your reason, is clearly referencing William Blake, the poet and artist, because he was not only the inspiration for the poems V is reading, but Urizen is actually a character that William Blake created, and the name of Urizen literally means your reason. Urizen represented the cold, rigid, reasoning side of the human psyche. He was one of the 4 Zoas who lived inside Blake's mind, and he considered them real and had conversations with them. Urizen is at the opposite side of what represent emotions, creative imagination, and the human soul. He represents the other extreme end, the reasoning side of the human psyche, obsessed with order. It is called rigid and calculating. Like a machine, it disregards the value of life and human emotions. Such a thing is what is capable of committing evil. This is exactly what demons in Devil May Cry represent. Evil without emotions, cold and reasoning, lacking in what humans have. So because of the dualistic nature of the story, demons are the opposite of humanity. And humanity represents the emotions and the soul. This is what Vergil was about to become in the MC3. He was oppressing his soul, his humanity and emotions. He wanted to become a full demon, cold and powerful. But Dante tried to save him. Dante is full of emotions and his soul was screaming. He desperately tries to save his brother when he points out that by being the sons of Sparta, the same soul is within both of them. He knows there is a powerful soul buried deep within Vergil.
We are the sons of Sparta. Within each of us flows his blood. But more importantly, his soul! And now, my soul is saying it wants to stop you!
Despite his attempt to save his brother, however, Vergil's pride was too strong, and he rejected being helped on. This is why the MC5 has a beautiful storytelling that ties into this concept, Vergil's human soul being discarded, but comes to life and going back to save himself. But V is different. He is full of emotions, soul, and as the opposite of Blake's Urizen, V represents the creative imagination. And unlike the Vergil he learns to become humble and not only help others, but ask for help when needed.
Why? Why the hell did you
beg you. This is my last request.
But, like I said, there is also a second meaning behind the sentence. Urizen is Dante's reason for fighting. Other than being a Blake reference, it clearly has a meaning that is not clearly conveyed. At first, I thought that by Urizen being a part of Vergil, it is Vergil himself being the reason why Dante is fighting. But that doesn't make sense to me anymore. Furthermore, as we previously observed, Urizen does not truly represent Vergil, instead representing his trauma and the tragedy itself. And this makes more sense to me. Dante is fighting because of demons, or in other words, evil exists. Beings that are capable of killing innocents like his mother and hurting his brother. Just like I came to the realization in the previous video I made about Dante and Vergil, I talked about how Eva's portrait on Dante's desk is probably a constant reminder for him for the reason he is fighting against demons. It reminds him of the evil, the senseless extinguish of a life of an innocent. Meanwhile, Urizen is also the manifestation of the fear Vergil experienced, the trauma that still lingers. He is the same reminder that evil exists as the portrait of Eva. A reminder of the same tragedy is just from his brother's perspective. So Urizen is also representing the reason for why Dante is fighting against demons. So while Dante having a portrait of Eva to remind himself for the reason he's fighting, we got a glimpse of his perspective of what happened inside the house. He witnessed his mother falling victim to evil, and so he decides to dedicate his life fighting against the demons. And the illusion where we fight Urizen reflects Vergil's perspective of what happened. Unlike Dante and just like Eva, Vergil was a victim, except he survived. And perhaps this memory is also a reminder for Vergil's reason for fighting. He is fighting in order to become stronger and to prevent to feel that fear ever happening to him again. Thank you for watching. I know this subject is a bit sad and gloomy. It was kind of a prepare to cry Devil May Cry edition. But don't worry, Vergil is fine and happy now, being protected by Dante. Also, stay tuned for more videos that will hopefully have a more cheerful subject, although I have more videos in mind. For example, I would love to talk more about William Blake and Dante's Divine Comedy, but those going to need a lot of researching. In the meantime, feel free to join my Discord if you would like to hang out with other DMC fans. You can find a link in the description. And see you next time.